Hello everyone, welcome back to my YouTube channel, and I'm so excited for today's video. It has been so highly requested, it's been so highly anticipated because I've been so lazy in doing this for you guys, and I'm very sorry. But today it is my boob job Q&A. I was going to do this as a mukbang because that also has been very highly requested, but I'm so not hungry today. So I just went to Macca's, got a coffee, and it is like the most awful looking coffee I've ever gotten from there. It is like separated from the sugar syrup and the whipped cream is like minuscule. Okay, not great, but it's fine. We're not here for my coffee, we're here for my little boobies. Not so little anymore. When this is nice, this is the best combination ever. It's a Macca's almond iced latte with a sugar syrup and whipped cream. So fingers crossed they only put in the right amount of sugar syrup and a good amount of whipped cream. Oh, it's so good. That part was alright actually. There's a hair in my whipped cream. Oh no, it's the ice, sorry. Before we go any further, if you guys wouldn't mind please subscribing to my channel, it would mean the absolute world to me. I'm loving the community that I'm building here and it just makes me so giddy, so please do that for me. Before we get into some actual questions, I'll give you a quick rundown on my boob job story. So basically I got my boob job in July of 2021. I went to Dr. Edmund in Melbourne at the Melbourne Institute of Plastic Surgery. I would recommend him so much. He was just perfect. From my first consultation on Zoom, I just like knew that he understood. I didn't really even have to say too much. He just got it and you could just get the vibes. It was amazing. And we ended up going with 400cc in one and 425cc in the other because both my boobs were not even. They were so small though that you couldn't tell. I had no idea that they weren't even. But I don't remember which is which. They look great now. And I went with Mentor round smooth silicone implants. And they're so soft, like and they went under the muscle. They feel quite real, which is amazing. When I was going through the sizing process, pretty much we didn't really decide on a size before going into the surgery. I just told the surgeon kind of the vibe that I was going for, and he said, do you trust me to put whatever looks best on the table? And I said, yep, go for it. And so I'm very blessed that it's turned out the way that it has. They've like only recently started to look quite normal and round. They looked quite teardroppy for a little bit there, and I was a bit stressed that I didn't get what I should have gotten, but they have started to fill, which is really good. I have all the questions like screenshotted on my phone because I did put a Q&A box on my Instagram a lot of times thinking I'll get around to it, and I never did because I'm so lazy. First question. Okay, most of the screenshots are either like people just being like, not a question, just love them, or people being a bit about it. Lots of fire emojis, but that's fine. I take it as a compliment. First question I'll say is, what ways has it affected your day-to-day that you didn't anticipate? I get anxiety getting clothes on now that go over my head. I fucking hate it. I need to buy more clothes that are like wraparounds, button-ups, even exercise tops, because I still have to wear quite small tops because my shoulders are very small. So I actually did buy like a bunch of size small tops and they all just fall off my shoulders and it's so embarrassing. So I have to go like a very small top to fit my shoulders, but then when it comes to my boobs, it's like so hard to get over them, and it's like really stressful to me. I really hate it. I have had to actually start showering at night time because if I didn't, I would shower. I used to shower in the morning and then I just like did not want to get dressed. I'd wear my dressing gown all day long, and like that's not mentally productive or just good at all in general. So now I have to shower at night time, so when I wake up I have to put clothes on. I did not expect that. Following on from that, did you have to buy a whole new wardrobe? Kind of just mentioned that I tried and I couldn't. But I kind of did. A lot of things that I had, like if I had cropped stuff, my boobs would just show now, like because there's a lot more space now to cover than just like that. Actually, I'll put a photo of what I looked like before up here, and then like a photo here so you can kind of tell. Maybe if I can find one, I'll do it in the same outfit. If not, you'll know because you'll be looking at them. So some things I had to just get like longer stuff, but in other ways it was like bigger stuff still wouldn't fit. So sometimes now I have a lot of the same stuff in the same size, so I wear like an extra small usually on top, and it's just a lot more revealing now because it's quite hard to, like, some clothes I wear quite revealing, which is fine. Like, I don't really care. I paid for boobs, like I don't expect people to not look at them, but like it's sometimes like full, it's like exposed because I can't, like, what else am I supposed to wear? It's really tough. You just don't. Someone said, any regrets, or is life always cup half full now? Apologies for the terrible pun. I forgive you. I don't think I have any regrets. I think sometimes I wish I went bigger, but I think that's my body dysmorphia, because no one can prepare you for getting used to having something so different on your body. Like, I've always my whole life had no boobs, so now that I have boobs, it doesn't feel like it. Like, I don't feel different on the inside, so it's hard for my brain to like acknowledge that I have boobs. Like, I never look at myself and go, wow, my boobs are so big. I was like, oh, are they just like, you can't tell, because yeah, you can't prepare for it. It's crazy how much it doesn't feel like I've even had my boobs done, because my brain just like doesn't compute. No regrets day to day, no regrets ever. I really love them. Another, just this is a piece of advice, I didn't get asked this question, but if you are thinking of getting a boob job, which I'm not telling you that you have to look good, I'm just saying if you have found this video because you're interested and want to get one, you also cannot prepare yourself for the first week and how much you'll regret that. I think everyone goes through a phase in their healing where they're like, what the fuck have I done? Because one, you've got two giant squares on your chest. Like, they don't look like good boobs, they look like squares. You're in so much pain that you can't enjoy them. You're probably, I was covered in like ink or something purple for like 2 weeks after my surgery, so I couldn't just sit there and be like, wow, cute. I was like purple, and you can't sleep, and you're so bloated and inflamed all over your body that you look ugly. And so the whole thing, that time that I was going through this recovery, all I was thinking was like, I just dropped 10k to feel like absolute fucking shit and look like shit. Like, I wanted to be like, I was not having a bar of it. It was really, really hard to cope with. And then eventually it gets better, but you're also just come out of surgery, so all of your friends and your family are like, oh my god, let me see, oh my god, how exciting. And you're like, I don't really want you to, because I feel like trash. I don't want anyone to see me right now. And it's, that week is like full of regret. Full of regret. Okay, someone asked how my recovery was and what was the hardest part. So my recovery in hindsight was actually pretty good. I left the hospital that night, I didn't stay over. I ate that night, I was fine. I never threw up oh, actually maybe I did, but I always throw up, so I don't know if it was from the surgery. But I like really wasn't that unwell, and I felt like I could do stuff for the first 1 or 2 days, but I didn't. My mum came down to look after me, and Jasper was there, so they were both pretty in control of everything, and I felt quite guilty asking them to do stuff for me, or like them doing stuff for me. And then everyone kept saying day 3 and 4 are the worst. So it came to day 3 and 4, and like I still wasn't feeling great. I had mostly pains from like not being able to go to the toilet, from all of the drugs, and just like occasionally I'd have like electric shocks, it would feel like, in my boobs, in my chest, and like a little bit of tightness, but not as much as I expected, because everyone always talks about the tightness. But I finished taking my extreme painkillers on day 5, and day 6 and 7 were a bitch. And I was like, why did no one warn me about day 6 and 7? Like, everyone always is like, oh yeah, I went back out on day 6 and 7. Like, no, I was so bad. I felt like I couldn't breathe. I wanted to cry. I couldn't cry because it hurt so much. The pain was just so bad. I actually shouldn't even be telling you this, but I actually just found some old opioid painkillers and took those because it was so bad. I probably just should have asked for some more from my surgeon. But another question is, what size bra do I wear now? I don't know. It's been over 6 months and I still haven't bought a bra. I just don't wear a bra because they're so perky. You don't really need them, which is exciting, but it's literally the only reason that I haven't gotten a bra is because they're so expensive. I'm sitting here like I'm dropping 10k for a boob job, but I don't want to buy a $50 bra. So I probably should get fitted. I want to guess maybe like a 10 double D. I don't know. It's hard to know. I was like a 10A on a good day before my surgery. I bought this like beautiful honey burnette set for my wedding, and it was a 10A and I didn't fit. I was gaping, so I had like literally no boobs, but I don't know what size I am now. Oh well, doesn't really matter. You're allowed to ask, but it doesn't matter. Okay, another question is, it's so funny, but do you find guys staring at your boobs more now? Short answer, yes, because I didn't have boobs to be stared at beforehand, but actually surprisingly, so many men stare at my boobies. So many. Like, I could never have guessed. When people say, like, I don't know, people who've lived with it forever say stuff like, I don't know, you just can't really relate because it's never happened. But I have experienced men like literally jaw on the floor, like can't speak because they're too busy staring. It's so funny. Like, I'm quite grateful. I'm not really protective over my body. That kind of behavior doesn't really faze me. If that phases you, it's not an issue. We're all just living our own lives here, and I'm lucky that it doesn't really bother me. It's just hilarious, in honesty. It's crazy. They go like over it. So bizarre. This one is, how much were they? Which I've mentioned a couple times in this video already. I paid 10k in total, but the boobs themselves were only 6k. I didn't get a lift, so it's just the implants. Then I had to pay like $1,000 for the anaesthetist, if I said that right. That's 7k. And then I had to pay $3,000 for a hospital fee. It originally was only going to be $1,000 for the hospital fee, but then COVID shut down elective surgery at that hospital, so I had to postpone indefinitely. Then I was like, can I not just go to a different hospital? And they're like, yeah, but it'll be $3,000. And I was like, well, I'm not waiting, because this was like July, so COVID was only just starting back up again, and I just knew it was going to get worse. So I was like, I prefer to just spend the money now, recover in lockdown, and like not have to think about it anymore. Because my first surgery got cancelled, like fully got cancelled 2 days beforehand. I got a phone call saying the hospital said no. And I was so upset, like so upset. I cried so much. I was like, I've waited so long. But then I was like, can you please find a hospital that will do it? And they said yes. I spent $3,000 on hospital fee there, which was fine. And they were really nice. And I got food there. Actually, did I even eat the food there? I don't think I ate it, but I got delivered it. I was nauseous at the time. And also leaving the hospital, I started to get like really dizzy and hot, and I thought I was gonna die, but it was just from the anesthetic. Next question kind of relates. It was that your first time under anesthetic? And no, it wasn't. I've had D&C. I've had an appendicitis removal, and I think that was it at the time. I had a few others since then, but because I went under anesthetic twice last year, so yeah, it wasn't my first time. I've never been scared of it. Even the first time that I went under anesthetic, I was never scared. When they first put me under for the boob job, I told them like I'm a natural redhead, and natural redheads seem to like be able to not fall asleep to anesthetic for longer, or like whenever I go to the dentist I need more anesthetic, all that kind of stuff. Anyway, so I told them that, and then they like slowly I slowly tried to put everything into my system so that they only had to put in as much as they really needed, which ended up being a lot. But they went for a really long time, just me laying there being like, come on, like when am I gonna fall asleep? And then I woke up and I was like, this is taking a really long time. And he's like, the surgery's done. And I thought I was still going back to sleep. So it was actually so easy. Yeah, I would go under anesthetic again tomorrow. It's really not a big deal to me. I feel like this video has potentially gone for a really long time. I have no concept of how long it's gone for, so sorry if it's really short, sorry if it's really long. But last question that I have here is, would you ever get surgery again? Like boob job again, another boob job? And I will have to, because they don't last forever, which is fine. I knew that. They say, like there's that whole rumor about like, every 10 years you need to get them replaced. That's not quite true. Your warranty for your implants are 10 years, so if something major happens, you can get them replaced, yada yada yada. But most boob implant brands these days, including the ones that I got, do have a longer life expectancy than that, so you can probably make it 15-20 years without getting them done again. The only reason I think I would get them done sooner is if I wanted to go bigger, which, oh, I didn't even mention like why I got them done in the first place. So basically a number of reasons. I was never even like that insecure about my boobs beforehand. What I was insecure about was my body shape. So I hold a lot of weight around my tummy. I'm always inflamed. I have gut issues. I've got endometriosis. So my tummy was just always bloated. And I tried to like pull off the whole like no boob look and the slip dresses, all that stuff. But my body would be like this at the top and then my belly would come out. And I felt like Lilo from Lilo and Stitch, like running around like a little child. And that's what was most insecure to me, for me. Like it wasn't necessarily my boobs, it was the rest of my body. So I really wanted them to kind of just like even out my shape. And then I started getting into like weightlifting and wanted to potentially do a bodybuilding competition, and everyone has fake boobs. That's an exaggeration, but a lot of people do in the federation that I would have been interested in competing in, and my body shape was just never gonna stand it. Even if I did put on the muscle and cut, it was just never gonna be worth it because I would never win. So I had been training for a little bit, and then I kind of, lockdown was happening and all that stuff, and I was like, this just seems like a good time now to get my boobs done because I can't really work out anyway, so I don't have to worry about all the recovery time not in the gym. So I called up my consultation in June and booked it in July, so it was pretty easy, pretty quick progress. As I said, I wasn't really that insecure at my boobs beforehand. I just wanted an overall better shape, and I forget why I thought of that, because I know I was just answering the question beforehand, but I don't know how I... Anyways, I'm gonna wrap that one up there. I have so much more that I could say, but I'm not sure how long this has gone for, so I don't want to bore you any longer. If you do have any further questions, feel free to pop them in the comments, or you can private message me on Instagram and we can have a chat. I'm super open to talking about it. And if you guys want another Q&A maybe on the 1 year to further elaborate, I would be happy to consider that for you guys, no worries. Like I said at the beginning, please subscribe to my channel, I would love that, and please don't forget to like it and ring the notification bell so that you know when I post. Also, the links for my original boob job vlog will be in the description below, along with my TikTok, Instagram, so you can follow me on all my socials and keep up to date with me. Love you guys, thanks for watching.